very revered colleagues, I rise this morning to move that the post and proceedings of 134th Legislative Day, Wednesday the 12th March 2025, be adopted as a working document. I so move.
I second the motion for the adoption of a post and proceedings of the 134th Legislative Day to be adopted as a working document of this House, as moved by the leader.
The 12th day of March 2025 is ever adopted as a working document of this House.
I want to draw your attention to our standing order 23. Mr. Speaker, by your leave, may I read order 23. Presentation of paper and document. Under order 23.1. A paper may be presented to the House by a member, and its presentation shall be entered upon the votes and proceedings, provided that papers may be forwarded to the clerk on any day during the exercise of the House, and the delivery of such papers to the office of the clerk shall be deemed to be for all purposes the presentation of them to the House. 23.2. A member presenting a paper may make a short explanatory statement of its contents. 3. Where under any statute a paper is required to be laid before the House, the delivery of such paper to the office of the clerk on a day during the exercise of the House shall be deemed for all purposes the laying of it before the House. 4. In this standing order, paper means any account, paper, return, or other documents. Mr. Speaker, relying on this, I am in possession of a document indicative of falsification of age by the Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Simeon Amadi. Mr. Speaker, by your leave, may I lay this document at the table?
Colleagues, Right Honorable Dumle Babo, I represent Buchanan State Constituency. Mr. Speaker, this morning I rise to lead debate on the documents presented by the workaholic leader of this House. Mr. Speaker, the document before me that is rightly placed before this House, he simply said that the Chief Judge of Rivers State, the Honorable Justice Simeon Amadi, falsified his age in service. Mr. Speaker, that is a very serious allegation. And I hold a strong view that this House must take legislative notice on the said document before this House. I will further say that it is incumbent on this House. This House is duty bound by the relevant sections of our Constitution, particularly 128, to take decision one way or the other on the said document. So I urge my colleagues this morning that we must not relent from taking decision on the said document. And I will go by this way, sir. That the said document, this House will resolve and write a letter to the Director of State Security Service to do investigation and revert back to this house on the findings that they shall make from the said investigation for this house to take decision one way or the other. That will be my submission, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, the leader of the opposition.
The leader of the House has presented some documents to us which points to very grave misconduct. Mr. Speaker, there is a proverb that says, even a dead fish can float downstream. So you check if it's really swimming. This proverb says, whatever you see is seemingly doing so until it is investigated. I stand by this proverb and urge the House that we call in the necessary agencies, in this case, the DSS, to investigate this matter. So we know whether truly it is a fish that is swimming, a dead fish, or a live fish. We want to know. Let us investigate, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the matter at stake is an important issue to critically look into. Mr. Speaker, this House is saddled with so many responsibilities, but we have the power to investigate and utilize that power from Section 128 of the Nigerian Constitution and Evidence Act 2011. We also derive our power from the Standing Order 23 of this House, and that order is in the page 18. Mr. Speaker, when it is stated in law that we must not assume that somebody is found is guilty until the person is proven otherwise. Therefore, going to the numerous activities or responsibilities of this House, we have no option than to delegate or call on security agencies to help us to look at the documents so submitted to this House critically and come up with resolution. And thereafter, this House will come back and look at the evidence so submitted and then check if the actual thing is done or the document was submitted on the error or there is conviction, and thereafter we can take decision as to where we go from that point. Mr. Speaker, let me also thank those that actually brought this document, because our duty is to investigate. We are not here to withhold anybody. We are here to do the needful for various people. We are not here to victimize anybody. It is part of our job. I think it is worth doing. Let us ask the security agencies to critically look at and enter the documents and find out whether the document is right or the document is forged. I think at this point, I rest my case.
Mr. Speaker, in the civil service, forgery is a serious offense. But I'm surprised that a man like that, yes, I'm aware, can involve in such an act. Now he's late for protest. I would have said, let's go to the ministry and confirm this action, this purported forgery. Then they will deny us access. Nobody can give information. They will hide it. I am supporting my colleagues who suggested that we should carry this into the FCC or every other relevant agency that can support, that can help us in finding out the truth of this very document. On that note, I am aligning with my colleagues to select for this document to find the truth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Hearing the alleged forgery from a very reverend colleague, a lawyer. He was a lawyer before he became a judge. Mr. Speaker, it is unethical for a lawyer to have forged his best. Yes. You know, it marvels me that at this level and time in his career, he has forged documents, age from this lower level. Alleged, yes. He has alleged to have forged his age from other levels to becoming a chief judge. Mr. Speaker, I think it is worth doing, worth investigating, because to allege such forgery to the level of a chief judge is a grave offense. And therefore, it is good that we hand it over to the necessary authority, like the DSS has rightly mentioned by Deputy Speaker, to investigate and prove the true nature of this accusation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I am Honorable representing all the state constituency. I want to lend my voice to the topic on the floor. Mr. Speaker, in civil service, falsification of age or forgery in a commission is a gross offense, a criminal act. Therefore, I don't want to say much, but just to align to other speakers, that a thorough investigation should be carried out. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable members, let me drawing our attention to the fact that these documents are in our possession. And how
bound to investigate when there are possible or even infractions on the law or the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The documents that has just been tendered today are suggestive of age falsification by the Chief Judge of Rivers State, Honorable Justice Simeon Amadi, DSSRS. Like I said, they are only indicative. This House cannot conclude that they are true or false. What it means is that there has to be an investigation. There has to be an investigation. Like the Honorable Franklin Wabochi pointed out, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, has directed civil servants, in fact, all government officials in Rivers State, never to appear before this assembly, never to answer questions, never to help this very constituted Rivers State House of Assembly, in fact, let me put it this way. The governor has said to all of them, don't appear to the assembly, don't answer their questions, don't honor their invitations, don't assist them in investigations. With that directive in place, most of them refuse when we summon them to appear here, which is why this assembly is resorting to federal agencies to assist us. If they were appearing before us or assisting us in investigations, probably would have started looking at how to look at the records. But since they don't come, we will work with what we have. And as it has been rightly suggested, a letter to the Director General of the Department of State Security will suffice in this case. And that's the suggestion of the House. I'm going to divide the House so that we'll decide one way or the other going by the contributions of members on this particular matter. So I put it this way: members who are in support that a formal letter be written to the Director General of the Department of State Security requesting the Department of State Security, that is the DSS, to assist the Rivers State House of Assembly in this investigation regarding the purported age falsification by the Honorable Justice Simeon Amadi, the Chief Judge of Rivers State, should indicate by raising their hands. Against. Abstention. Before. Against, nil. Abstention, nil. By these voting honorable members, the House has therefore resolved that a letter be written to the Director General of the Department of State Security requesting the DG to assist the Rivers State House of Assembly in investigating the allegation of age falsification by the Honorable Chief Judge of Rivers State, Honorable Justice Simeon Amadi, DSS RS, and that we will request the DG to forward the reports to this House after the investigations are concluded, so that the House will decide one way or the other whether or not to do a formal letter to the National Judicial Council, NJC, or not. Distinguished colleagues, this is the resolution of this House.